People say, what comes first, the words or the music? And I say, well, the lyrics. No, just kidding. I would normally say an idea, and that idea might be in the form of the actual hook of the song, the actual title of the song. Sometimes I'll write it as a poem and then put music to it if that's the way it's coming. You know, you just have to meet it where it's at. If it was a drama and I was watching a show as a kid, I'd sit there and I'd go, say this, tell her you didn't mean it. I always wanted to write what I wanted to say or what would work in those situations. And then as a teenager, I found Merle Haggard, who was probably my ground zero for songwriting, Tom T. Hall, and of course Jackson Browne and Bruce Springsteen and Steve Earle. And I wanted to create. I never really was that jazzed up about just doing cover songs. I mean, I did that in Dallas, in the Dallas area, but I always wanted to write my own. My songs are like children, and there's thousands, not thousands, but over 1,000 of them. And one of my favorite songs, and I would put it at the top of my list, it's a song I'll do, Muletown and Around, and it's called With His Arms Wide Open. It's a gospel song. And when I moved to Nashville, you know, it was like everybody was Southern Baptist. I'm like, I felt weird, you know, and I was like not in the exact same, coming from the same church background. I didn't grow up with the hymns that I've grown to love, the Southern gospel hymns. But there was a Catholic priest who was unlike any Catholic priest I ever knew. And when I still went to that church, he was doing what's called Stations of the Cross. And at the end of it, he said, isn't it just like Jesus to die the same way he lived, with his arms wide open? And I went home and wrote that, and I remember crying as I wrote it. It felt so, it just poured out of me, the whole song. One of my favorite recordings is a guy named Bradley Walker that Rory produced. He's such a great country singer, and I'm so proud of that recording of it. There's several others, but that's one of my favorite songs, probably my most favorite. I would tell songwriters, trust yourself. I remember writing songs and I was like, man, I can't get this any better, but I'm gonna finish this song and that's the best I could do today. And I believed in myself even at that level. And I can go back and look at those songs and I can see that they're not great, but I can read between the lines and go, man, I was going for it. I was trying. I think a lot of songwriters, and I don't think I did early on, it's very hard. I didn't trust myself. They're trying to either fit in a genre and be recorded by the most trendy act or whatever, but I would say just trust the process and trust yourself. That's what I would tell songwriters. Always, man, always. What I have seen so far, and we're about to do the show, I'm just so excited to do it. I love Rory. I love the whole concept of Muletown and Around.